What's going on, everybody? Long awaited 52 update. We are back to work on it. It is second week of January almost. The shitless is parked back in the corner here. Can't really do much more tuning this winter on the street anyway, so that's sitting for now. Wheeled the 52 back out a couple days ago, started messing with a few things, trying to figure out exhaust and steering. I threw a steering column in there. It doesn't look like I'm really going to have an issue with routing steering. The exhaust is going to be tricky. I think the most block hugging exhaust I can have is these stock manifolds, and they're still, I'm going to probably cut them off here and fab up to get them closer to the block to bring them down, and then whatever we do for exhaust, we'll do V-bands, and hopefully that'll work. Somewhere I've got the steering shaft that I took off the S10. I've been looking for that for about an hour and I can't find it. That's the problem with doing these things split up. It's been damn near a year since I tore all this shit apart off the S10 and everything. I don't know what I did with a lot of it. But I don't see much of an issue rigging up a steering shaft for that. Once we get the column situated, and we'll cut out this hole nice and fill it in with new steel. And I'm probably gonna plug like weld-in steel for all the holes in the firewall, and then we'll just make new holes for whatever it is we do need to go through the firewall. Smooth everything out and paint it. But I kind of wanted to get some exhaust and steering kind of figured out before I yank the motor and tranny back out so we can clean up this frame and paint it. Like I said before, the cab's not going to come back off. I ain't doing that. Right now I'm messing with these cab corners. I remember now I put these off last spring because they suck. I kind of temporarily hung this door just to take a look at the gap with that corner shoved up in there. Biggest thing I'm looking for right now is just the height that it lines up. And that gap is looking, or that lineup is looking really good. Yeah, the gap's all messed up. But that kind of goes back to the cab. I got a lot of more welding to do. You know, it's not quite completely sturdy yet in square. So I think I've got this about where I want it. So what we're gonna do is try and make a mark with a fucking pencil, because who knows where the hell my marker went. Yeah. Yeah, I think we can see that okay. But the plan is we'll take this back off and then we will cut down probably a 1/4 inch from that line, and then I've got that flanging tool, so we'll flange that, so hopefully that will sit in there nicely. We'll flange the truck steel, and we'll punch holes in here to weld that across, and then we'll have to do the seam. I think there'll be some trimming involved in there, but yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now. I want to get these corners done and get the whole back of this. I need that braced up, back up inside of the cab, so we can finish up the floor and get everything buttoned up and sturdied up. Yeah, basically we're gonna put tubing all along there to get that shape back, and we'll spot weld all that back on, spot weld these supports back on, and then when these corners are in, then we'll put the inner corners in, and then we'll be able to finish out this floor all the way back, and that'll sturdy up the floor back into the back of the cab. And then we're gonna have to go, if you guys remember, we had to kind of hump that floor. So that's got to be fabricated. And then that floor welded up to the firewall. And then once that'll go a long way to kind of tying up the whole rest of the cab, getting everything squared up and strong. If you remember last fall, or maybe this spring, I don't know, I did hang the front end on it. I made mounts and took it back off. So basically all that needs to be finish welded. And then we got the pieces that go inside of here that need to be welded in. The kick panels inside, and then we'll drill the holes through where these holes are through the piece that we put in there. And those lined up really good with the fenders, so I think we'll be okay there. And then once, there's a lot of work. I need to order at least, well, I need the 2-inch drop for the rear because I did the 2-inch spindles in the front, and 2-inch spacers for the rear wheels so I can set that bed down on there and get mounts made for that. Once the bed is mounted, then we can make mounts for the running boards, and that's pretty much all the rough fabrication for all of the body. And like I said, as soon as we get some exhaust figured out, you know, at least roughly figured out, and steering, then we're going to yank the motor and tranny back off. So I don't want to say start finish work, but with that, all the rough fabrication will be done, and we can kind of start piecing stuff together the way it's going to be, and cleaning stuff up and painting it as we go. And then once the motor is out, remember we got to lap these valves, a couple of other odds and ends. I don't know if we're going to turbo this because we did the twin turbo Cutlass. I think we're going to go naturally aspirated on this, but I will throw a cam in it. Just because why not? You want to hear that lope, right? But then we just slap the motor together. Maybe, I don't even know if we'll bother with a shift kit in the tranny if we're not going to turbo it. It should be fine. It's a 4L80. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing tonight. I'm going to pull that corner back off of there, make some cuts and flanges, and then we'll see where we're at. All right, be right back. All right, so here's where we're at. I cut it down, we flanged it, put some holes in the corner, and put some plug welds in. So we got, you can see right here's our flange, so she's pretty much flush there. That's going to make the body work a lot easier. Although when I was wire wheeling some of that paint off, there's a pretty thick Bondo there already. We'll see. I don't know. I got to have somebody push this out from the inside while I get those a little bit more down here. But that's one thing too. If you got a flanging tool, it won't get into a tight corner. So you get as close as you can, and that's what I did, was just cut that off at a 45. And that'll, I mean, we got to fill that with Bondo anyway, so whatever. But yeah, we're gonna have to do a little bit of work down here. But I mean, honestly, I could say that's about the best we could fit that thing, being that everything is still moving around. Yeah, I remember now, that's why I put that off this spring, because it looked like it was going to be a pain in the ass, and it is. But I mean, just having that one corner really already made a big difference in the strength of it. Man, all I smell is like burning hair. I burn a hole right through the side of my damn head. Skull cap's probably a good idea. But yeah, I'll finish that up, and I think next video we'll do that inner cab corner. That'll go a long way to strengthen things up. Let's see, I think we got the inner cab corner, and that'll be about it for the back side. We'll do the same to the other. And then we can put that tubing, like I was saying, along the bottom of that back wall there. And that'll lay all the groundwork. Then we can just lay in the rest of the flooring and get everything welded in. So, yep, that's the idea. Hey, make sure when you're welding cab corners in, you're right next to a gas tank. But hey, there's a rag stuck in it, so we're good, right? Kept smelling gas. It's getting pretty old at this point too, so. Well, anyway, yeah, I'm excited to be back working on this thing. I keep saying this, I'd really love to have it moving and driving by spring. That'd be sweet. You know, probably not done, but moving would be great. So, okay, until next video, like, comment, share, subscribe, share with your friends. Catch you later.